Hello YouTube, welcome to our next video. This is going to be River City Wrap-Ups. This is going to be our thoughts on the E3 presentations for all three of the big companies. We're going to start off with Microsoft today, as obviously they went first. We're just going to kind of do this in the order the presentations came in. So with this one, honestly Ed, I don't really have a lot to say about this. When I first watched the presentation, I was thinking, oh, you know, kind of a decent presentation, but after seeing Sony's and Nintendo's, I was just like, ooh.
It's a very, like, it's...
lackluster.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Microsoft a point.
Yes.
I'm going to give Microsoft a point because it was better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was way better.
It,
yeah, it wasn't TV, sports, TV,
all the
Call
stuff
of Duty.
they've abandoned since that they're not even talking about. Yeah, so
Xbox Connect, you know, like, they got rid of that, which is good on them, you know, point to Microsoft.
Yeah.
It actually makes me interested to see what's going to happen in the next 2 years for them. Not so much this year, though.
Yeah.
Which we're about to kind of get into a little bit on the actual games that are going to be released, because there's not a lot of Xbox exclusives.
There were a couple, but yeah, a lot of the games they were showing off seemed to be stuff that obviously would be coming out on other consoles. Now the first one, obviously, we're going to talk about, it's the first one they showed off, which is the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now I am a fan of Call of Duty. You know, I do appreciate these games. I do enjoy them for what they are. And this one just, I wasn't excited about it. Watching this, the jumping boost mechanic didn't really impress me much. Obviously it looks beautiful, but yeah.
To me, it almost seems like they're trying to ride off of Titanfall's small success that they had.
Yeah.
And boost it into another game. Now, don't get me wrong, that has worked in the past, but I think at this day and age of a gamer anyway, we expect something a little bit more than just rehashing something that has already been created. We want something innovative, something that's going to be brought new to the table. And I don't think Advanced Warfare is going to be giving us any of that.
No, but at the same time, is the fan base really going to care? I mean, and also with a lot of these presentations, I mean, really, Call of Duty, do you really want to show off the single player like mode? Really? I mean,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Really, a small percentage of the actual people buying this game will play that single player. I mean, they really should have shown.
I played it, and you know what? The one for Black Ops, Ghost.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Ghost, Call of Duty Ghost. The storyline was dumb. It didn't have much of a great story.
No.
It wasn't very interesting, and I'm one that really likes storylines. So if they're going to do this and they're going to make this more of a story-based thing, I might be a little bit more inclined to try it.
Yeah.
Am I inclined to go and pre-order it right now?
No.
Which is the purpose of this? No. Absolutely not.
I might pick it up as a budget title, you know, if it ever comes down in price, you know, for sale or something like that. But yeah, but I just was not impressed with that game. And I am a fan of the series, so, you know, I'm not a hater, you know, I really do appreciate it, but just this one didn't do it for me.
Next, I think we have Forza 5.
Which, do you really have anything to say about this?
I hate simulation driving games. And next, we have Evolve.
Yes, pretty much. Now, next on our list is Evolve.
Yeah.
Now this was developed by the team that did Left 4 Dead 2, also Left 4 Dead 1, I guess. So this game looks like it's going to be just kind of, you know, 4-player on one action game. Very similar to, I guess, fighting off a tank, which, yeah, actually looked pretty cool. This one I'm actually a little bit excited about.
I don't have as much of an excitement, also because I've only recently saw the trailer, so I didn't have the same hype. I didn't see it on the actual thing. I missed a lot of the Xbox when I had to rewatch it. Yeah. But it did have a little bit of an interest to me. I do like the concept of having 4-player cooperative mode against one person. Like, that seems to be something that's going on. And one thing I'm thinking is that one of these days you're going to see Dungeons and Dragons where somebody has, like, that's the game for the Wii U. You know,
awesome,
you're welcome, Nintendo, use this one. But I would like to see something like that, and this is a one step closer to that. I think it's kind of like you have somebody that's going to be the bad guy taking control of the bad guy, and they have another game that's very similar to that later on the list.
Yeah, definitely. Now, next one on our list here is actually one that I guess we're kind of sick of hearing about. We're not too impressed by this series of games, which would be Assassin's Creed Unity.
And go ahead, if you enjoy it, please comment about it and tell everybody else that stuff we can't say anymore, because I've just the taste of Assassin's Creed has been f***ed out of my mouth.
Yep.
Completely. I can't do it anymore. It's every year the same thing, same mechanics, same basic storyline. You know,
it always looks prettier. I mean, I guess they can say that about they are very good looking games. Yeah.
And yeah, I won't take anything about that. Big open world, that's great, but open world's done, okay? And not in a bad way, because there's still ones that can perfect the open world and do it great, but I don't think Assassin's Creed's doing it.
Well, I think even with the last one, I think they kind of toed it, oh, this is a big open world game, and there were a lot of barriers that people were encountering. So
oh yeah, I always came across barriers constantly. They just they mask it saying that it's the
just because you can see the background, oh, it's an open world game. No, that's not really how it works. So
it's definitely not how it works.
Yeah, that one we're not really excited about. Now this next game, I think Ed's very
excited
about.
I am so excited for it. I played the first one, absolutely loved it. The second one I never played, but I've heard from a lot of people it wasn't so great.
And I played the second one and I actually kind of hated it. So
yeah,
it's kind of actually this one. If it is better, if it is going back to the original, which I did hear good things about, I actually would be very interested in playing this game.
It's very jaw dropping, definitely with the trailer that I've seen. But the one that we're talking about is Dragon Age 3. Wow. It really
beautiful presentation.
I think this was one of the most beautiful games at the Microsoft presentation that they had in general. It was the nicest looking one.
This one definitely caught my attention. Like I said, played the second one, was not very impressed. So what the good things I hear about the first one, if this one does go back to the original roots, I'd be definitely willing to give this one a try.
I think this is going to be the first out of the series of games for the new systems that are going to push a little bit, push that boundary of graphical content. This is going to be one of the first that really utilizes these systems the way that they were meant to be.
Oh,
not that the ones that we have like Watch Dogs don't, but I think this one's really going to push it. It's going to be the first one that's going to set a bar.
Oh, definitely. Now the next one here, this one, I actually really enjoyed the presentation. I was actually very amused by the video. I think these guys are not taking themselves too seriously, so they know, this is going to be a fun game, kind of crazy over the top, and this game is Sunset Overdrive. Now, like I said, I really love the presentation, how the guy was kind of talking to you through the screen. It's just really well done, and it kind of made me a bit excited about it. Not really overly hyped to play it, but I would give it a try if I could.
For me, my opinion on this, I've seen lots of demos. I saw it before E3, like they had some stuff out for it, but the E3 demo didn't really do too much for me. To me, it seems like a mixture of Lollipop Chainsaw and
kind
Infamous.
of the perfect way to explain that, yeah.
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw and Infamous jammed together in like kind of like a horde situation, which isn't a bad thing. That could work.
Yeah.
But this is not going to make me go and buy the system, and they're trying to treat this as it is.
And I think there are some people who are genuinely excited about it, but like you mentioned, this really would not push me to go buy the system, which right now technically, well, I guess they're doing better than Nintendo, but definitely Xbox is not doing as well as they were expecting to do and as much as they want to do currently with the system, so they really need to start pushing those games that really make you want to buy it.
Not to mention that they're pissing off a lot of the developers out there by dropping the Kinect, because there's a lot of developers that have been working on their Kinect games and now they're just saying, well, we're not doing it anymore.
Well,
we're not pushing it the way
they exactly. Like they were, I'm sure you guys know they were trying to push this, oh, this is going to be the new way to play your games, when really waving your hands around, doing shit like that, it's not fun. If
it's a dance game, yeah, all the power to you.
It's a distraction, really. That's kind of how I look at it. So now the next game on our list, I think, Ed, this is your chance. I guess you want to try to get this out.
I'll do my best. This is a mouthful, that's for damn sure. We got Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha. I did it. Yes.
Give him an achievement. You deserve an achievement for that. So this looked like a lot of fun. Now I've played the previous Dead Rising games. Didn't enjoy 1 so much. Dead Rising 2 I actually had a lot of fun with. And when I saw the trailer for 3 last year, it kind of looked a little bland. Didn't really get me excited to play the game, but now this DLC content just looks awesome. So obviously, if anyone's seen it, it's got Dead Rising gameplay, taking out zombies, but now with the awesome fan service they're doing here.
Oh yeah, now complete fan service.
Oh, like definitely.
This is as it goes for fan service. This is probably the ultimate fan service.
And in terms of a company like Capcom, who has a track record of screwing over their fans, this is an actually very pleasant surprise. Because I mean, the Akuma costume, the Chun-Li costume, being able to pick them up as Hagar and like
so sweet. Yeah, it literally is a love letter to the Capcom fans. It really is.
This one really does have me excited.
And it does have me excited too. This one, honestly, if this was a full standalone game, I would buy it before I would buy the third one even.
Oh, absolutely.
But again, same thing as you. I played the first 2. I actually enjoyed the first one, and I really liked the second one. So the third one I was interested in trying, but this here is definitely, it's going to be the first game I get whenever I get my Xbox eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I do plan on getting it. It's just me. I collect systems, so I will eventually get it, but this is probably going to be one of the first things that I get for it.
Oh, same with me. Next one on our list, Dance Central. Next one. Actually, this one I was actually kind of excited about. Now, I'm actually not a fan of the series at all. I actually kind of hate this fucking game. Now, that would be Fable Legends, the next one that's coming out.
And I had mentioned earlier, playing as a bad guy, and this is the one that I was talking about. because you get to be like the warlord of the land, essentially.
Oh yeah, I actually completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's actually a really cool feature. And for this game, it kind of reminded me in terms of gameplay like Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone's played like the old Gauntlet series, obviously you're like these 4 mystical characters. You go around, you have your abilities, and this kind of works in the same way. And I was actually really looking forward to this. So definitely, whenever I pick up an Xbox One, I'm actually going to be willing to give this one a try. So yeah, Fable Legends looked like a decent little game.
It's nice to see them break away from the online thing that they did with the last one.
Yeah, and just the overall, like, I mean, as a king, do you really need to be baking bread and like shit like that? Like,
just get the minions to do it.
Yeah, it's an awful game.
But
no, this new one actually looked very cool. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Next week, I don't know much about. I really
don't think they released much about this other than a trailer, but Phantom Dust. Yeah, I mean, again, they didn't really say much about it other than give us a cool trailer, but it looked cool. I mean,
it's hard for me to make a judgment off of something just like that. So
pretty much. Now the next one here, I guess, Ed, you want to bring this one up?
Which one? Project?
It'd be Project Spark. I guess I'll take
Project
care of this
Spark.
one.
Yeah, you take care of this one. I don't know this one so much. So
yeah, no, I guess Ed, like you mentioned earlier in the video, he didn't watch.
I did miss some of it. So.
Yeah, definitely. So Project Spark, for anyone who doesn't know, they did actually preview this on previous E3s. Now it seems to be like just kind of a little adventure game, but the main gimmick of it is that using the Kinect, you can actually go around and create the world. And actually, that does look really cool. It's a very unique idea. And I think also the thing that maybe might have pissed people off about this is they kind of tease a little bit of Conquer action. So if anyone is a fan of the Conquer series, there seems to be some type of DLC or something that's going to be coming where your Conquer's going to be a playable character. You're going to be able to create a world for Conquer. And that'd actually be really cool.
I love Conquer. The N64 game is, and this one's for you, 64-bit. I do love the Conquer 64. It's by far one of my favorite Conquer.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be really cool to see them revisit that character in some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form, yeah, because it does.
Just as even as like a little blurb, I'm happy with because it's something that I
keep them alive.
Yeah, just keep them alive. Those small little things that happen here and there with characters will keep them, and eventually, you never know. Maybe someday we will see another game like that.
So hopefully, support that game if it looks interesting to you. You never know. So next one here now, we have this written on our list, but I guess this was part of the indie games that they were showing off at the event. Now, I don't know if you saw the indie games, Ed.
I really didn't.
I was really impressed with some of the indie games they were showing off. Actually, some of these were kind of more impressive than some of the top budget games. Some of the ones I was seeing were called like Broforce. It was like
I saw. Okay, you know what? I did see some of these. Broforce looks awesome.
That looked awesome, like 8-bit style, just like awesome action game. Totally like homage to the
80s movies, 80s action movies, yeah.
And like it just looked really awesome. And actually, one that I'm really excited about. I think I've heard a couple people comment about this online, but it's called Cuphead. Now, basically, this game is kind of in the style of like a 20s, 30s cartoon. Kind of think of like Steamboat Mickey, kind of back in the day, that type of animation.
Betty Boo.
Yes, like really old school, and it just looks really awesome. Like for me, that kind of gives me like ideas in my head of like, oh, they can bring back our old cartoons and kind of give us a playable experience of it. So that actually really had me really excited to see that. So
I think right now, and I think in general, what we should be looking to is the indie games more so than the newer ones, because the indie games are going to start. They have a better chance to take a chance on something.
And I think we saw with the last generation of games that these indie titles, they're really ambitious.
Like Journey and Flow and
Super Meat Boy, Fez. As much as Phil Fish, you're if you ever see this, fuck you. But still, yeah, no, like I mean, these games are really interesting. They've been kind of progressing in this really awesome direction the past couple of years. And I think if these indie developers using the power of the Xbox One can really make some awesome stuff, I fully support that. I mean,
me too.
Yeah, so honestly, the indie games are really kind of my most impressive part of the whole
it's
conference.
River City approved.
Absolutely. So now the next couple of lists. Now, I'm not a big fan of this series.
I'm sick of the series, to be completely honest with you.
A little bit. And I mean, it's kind of like their go-to game at every presentation, pretty much.
Every system has one.
But you know what? For fans of this series, I can see people being very, very excited about this.
Absolutely.
Now, first off, it'll be starting off with the Master Chief Collection, which is Halos 1 through 4 on the Xbox One, updated in HD, full,
totally redone essentially for the system.
Now, and the one thing that impressed me about this is, they explained that rather than updating everything, including the engine, they've actually kept the same engine as the original games. So for anyone who's a fan of these, you're pretty much getting an updated port that plays exactly the same as these games you love.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It's that don't fix what's not broken.
Exactly, yeah. Just leave it alone, just kind of make it pretty and, you know, repackage it. And you know what, for Halo fans, I'm sure you guys are really excited about this. Because that's something that's like 120 maps or something like that for the multiplayer,
insane.
which is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, so...
To start off with that, that's an insane amount of maps. You almost never need to download one for that.
Oh, pretty much. So I'm sure Halo fans are really excited about this. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the series, but looking at what they offered, I was like, actually, oh, that's pretty cool. So, you know what?
I would probably pick it up if I
saw it cheap. Yeah, you know, give it a try. I gave the other Halos a try, but fucking not my thing.
Me neither.
Now,
I'm tired of getting pwned by 5-year-olds.
No, well, that's pretty much any first-person shooter game.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the next one, obviously, with Halo as well, is Halo 5.
And I think that's what a lot of people have been anticipating, the Halo 5 to come. Not Reach, not ODST. Halo 5.
And they obviously delivered. You know, this is something that they brought up. It's going to be coming out on Xbox One, I think, next year, before probably the next E3 presentation. So, you know, it looks beautiful. Obviously, it's a really good-looking game. Again, not a very big fan of the Halo series, so really not a lot I can really say about it, other than I'm sure Halo fans are happy. Which
I'm sure they're
treat your fans good. That's good.
They're really good for that. So Halo's really reaches out to their fans, so that's something you have to give to them. Next we have Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Now I haven't actually played the previous gen new Tomb Raider game, but I actually was really excited about it. Actually, it is still on my wanted list.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it, really good reboot, so the fact that they're continuing with that, making a new game, kind of continuing that new storyline that they're going with, which I guess is kind of a prequel to the series.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so like, that actually is really cool. Very excited to see that.
It's the one that just recently came out was such a well-done game, and Squeenix was the people that developed it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not a big fan of the things that Squeenix has been doing lately, but they definitely nailed it on that game.
Oh, definitely.
And it's really well done. It gives you a sense of loneliness while you're playing it. It gives you a very good sense of, like, grotesque things that happen to Laura during the whole process of her being in there.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to see what they could do with the new generation, because the one that they have for the PS4 right now is just a reboot, a rehash of what they've already done. So let's see what they can do now. Now that they have the new system with them to do it. So
now the next one on the list is this one. I'm actually super excited about. Actually looked really awesome. Actually, this one, if it is an Xbox exclusive, to be perfectly honest, I'm not.
It's
really
a seller.
Sure
it is. If
I
it's
would
Xbox,
buy this.
yeah,
absolutely. Which is Tom Clancy: The Division. Now I'm a really big fan of the Rogue Spear games. I've tried to get into games in between that game and current ones. They kind of fall flat. They're not really great, and you can tell they just kind of slapped the Tom Clancy name on there and expect sales, which
that unfortunately is not the right way to go.
No,
it really isn't, because now that kind of taints the name as opposed to creating like the force that he's done. Like Tom Clancy is. I don't toss around the word genius around, but definitely. he's definitely up there.
Oh yeah, definitely. As far as like, you know, a writer goes, I actually read a lot of his books back in the day. So yeah, no, really excited about this next game coming up.
Oh, absolutely. This next game on our list, I'm excited for. I know you're not particularly excited for.
I haven't played any of these, so this one's all yours, Ed.
The first one on computer was really, like, it was interesting. It was groundbreaking, in my opinion, for the computer.
Especially for a small developer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The second one I played for the Xbox when it just recently, because I didn't know that it had come out, and I found a special edition copy of it, so I picked it up. I fell in love with it. It was really good mechanics, really good graphics, really good fighting system. I enjoyed it. And the game I'm talking about is Witcher. And The Witcher 3 is coming out really soon, and I'm personally really amped for this. It looks beautiful. It looks like it's got a great story. It's definitely continuing the story, which is awesome. They're not just trying to do a new story, so I'm happy about that. If this was an exclusive, which it isn't, if it wasn't exclusive, though, this would probably be a seller for me.
Oh, pretty much. And you know what? I've heard really good things about the developer. I've heard fans of this game really love it. They really love the guy's efforts and what they did with the second one.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, if they release like a collection, like 1, 2, and 3, I might be willing to give it a try.
Oh yeah, really for sure. Especially the first one, because the first one I personally never played. I've watched it on like Let's Plays and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's the only way I've been able to do it, because I haven't had any type of PC gaming in years. So that was the only way I was able to experience it. But the second one was just, it was so awesome. It was so much fun. So this third one I'm really looking forward to.
Yep, and it got a good reaction from the crowd, so definitely, it's definitely something some people are interested in. Now the next one on our list, Scalebound. Now this one actually looks really cool. I'm curious to see what the gameplay is going to be like, because I don't really recall them showing a lot of gameplay.
I didn't see any. Like, I mean, it was very minimal to.
But the idea, it sounds and looks really interesting. So yeah, Scalebound actually kind of looks very interesting. And yeah, if I have a newer console, I might pick that up, depending on how it goes in the future. So yeah,
as a possibility. Now our final on this list,
and I guess the capper for the Microsoft.
Well, their idea of the capper.
Yeah, I
mean,
so.
I would have went with a couple of the other ones first. But
they really should have ended it with Halo 5.
Yeah, that should have been there. Yeah, walked away. That was leaving on a top note if they did. But they didn't, and they decided to go with this, which is an Xbox exclusive, and the other ones were too, because this is a sequence of games.
And it was a very cool trailer. I mean, it was a very awesome presentation, but again, you know, playing previous Crackdown games.
Crackdown, the third one.
Yeah.
Is basically what we're getting at. The first one was awesome because the system just came out. It was brand new, Xbox 360. I remember my roommate at the time brought it home, and that's the game he bought. It was tons of fun.
And especially those newer release games, you know, at the time you just want something to play.
And this being an open world and the action that it had in it was really cool, but it got so tiresome so fast.
Yeah, it's just the novelty of it kind of wears off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So.
and they didn't change anything for the second one. It basically was the same game, just in a new area and bigger.
Bit, yeah.
So what they're going to do with the third one, I don't know. I mean, it looked interesting. It looked nice. I wouldn't pick it up right away. This is something that I'd wait till it hit bargains.
I might not even really pick it up, to be perfectly honest. So,
and that's fair.
And I guess that's how they want to end it. So, I guess for you, Ed, what was your pick of the
for the Microsoft?
Conference? Yeah.
If we're going with an exclusive, I'm going to say Fable Legends, just because it's exclusive. If we're not going exclusive, I am definitely saying Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dragon Age is going to be across all the systems. But if we're going to go exclusive, because this is Microsoft, so let's do that, I'm going to say Fable Legends. Seems to be the most interesting to me, the way that they're going to play that out with being able to control the land versus controlling the heroes.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting to be able to do something like that.
For me, my exclusive favorite of the conference, which actually the indie game section, that honestly the indie games really impressed me. If these guys are going to be doing this stuff exclusively on the Xbox One, honestly, really happy with that. I can't say I would buy a console for those games. But certainly I'll find some way to play them. If I got a borrow console, definitely would do that. And as far as games that are, I guess, going to be on every platform, I guess the Dragon Age Inquisition. I mean, that looked really good. Really impressed the hell out of me. So.
Oh yeah, visually especially.
Yeah, definitely. So.
I think overall Microsoft was a little lackluster.
You want to give them a score out of 10, Ed?
A score out of 10, I would give you a solid 6.
I think that's being a bit generous. I would give them a 5, to be perfectly honest. I really think they could have pulled out more stops. The presentation itself had these awkward pauses in it. I just think they could have made it a lot tighter, a lot more just, you know, really show things off. It's just the pauses in between it really brought down my enjoyment of the presentation.
Keep in mind, I gave them a point at the beginning.
Oh, okay, I guess that kind of evens that out.
That's where they got the 6. They got a point at the beginning for being much better than last year.
Yeah, at least we can say that much about it. So yeah, so I guess that's our thoughts on the Microsoft E3 conference.
Yeah.
So I guess stay tuned for our next video. We're going to talk about the Sony conference.
Yes.
We're definitely going to have a lot more to say about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Ed does own a PS4, so this really affects him personally.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this one. I've been really looking forward to this. But either way, this is Ed.
This is Max.
And this is River City Gaming.
G-Jud.com